Good morning, everybody. Got to get ready for work here, and I want to get into this video. It's very important. It's in the news. It's been talked about for over a week, and it's all on election interference. And Pierre-Paul Levere is saying to Justin Trudeau, opposition versus leader and party in power, election interference. China is interfering in our elections, supposedly since 2019. Folks, Canada enrolls in its institutions in political science more foreign interests, more foreign students than any other country in the world. In fact, when they rank universities, top universities in the world for foreign student ratio, you find Canada is largely overwhelmed with foreign students. Astronomically, in fact, Canada compared to USA, not even close. Massive double digits Canada versus USA single digits. We can go on into microchips and many other aspects of the new Cold War style system, but Canada doesn't follow that. In fact, we haven't followed that since 1993. 2019 election just in Alberta. I went to the University of Alberta. I took my MLA incumbent door knocking in all the dorms just to prove a point. And that video exists on my timeline. The amount of foreign students versus domestic was clearly astronomical. In fact, we couldn't even find local residents in the University of Alberta dorms that were Canadian. Very few. Very few. Massive difference. Now, political science, where do you go in the world as a foreigner to learn political science? Well, Canada. More Chinese than anywhere else in the world are found in Canada studying Canada's political science. This is not new. Does it increase every year? Absolutely. Political science, political interference. Who's creating it? Well, all the parties, Canadians, and you're paying for it. Yesterday I produced the National Institute of Scholars out of the USA data on civics. We don't have civics in Canada. I think that's my first book I'm going to write. My friend Robert David Lang is going to produce several books for me, but this one is the one I want to do first. This one I'm actually going to write. He coming in February. Lots going on. Global Compact, the migrant. It's UN Sustainable Development Goals. It's led by UK. They have a debriefing too. It's not the COP27 debriefing I'm going to. There's another one, and they have a whole week series on all kinds of COP27 aftermaths, and they have their own debrief. I've looked at it. I've enrolled. It's the same day. I'm not likely going to go to it. I do want to learn. If there's a window in the debriefing I'm going to have, then I'll go check that out. There's activity all week. The UK narrative for the Commonwealth, Global Compact migrants, been around forever. It's a narrative of the royal family led by none other than King Charles. I can't make this up. He was Prince Charles under his mother. He pushed this agenda along with Sustainable Development 2021, 2030. Now we're going into 2050, and 2030 has so many materializations. But the biggest one, folks, is when you talk about election interference, maybe we should start at our universities, as obviously Canadian universities, just in political science, are overwhelmed with foreign students. massive, and it's only growing to the Agenda 2030. This is what Harper did. It's what Justin Trudeau's doing. All the parties are good with it. And you, the taxpayers, pay for it. You pay for it large, large, large. Kind of hard to argue election interference when our highest academic institutions are rolling out the red carpet. Taxpayers are rolling out the red carpet. Can't make this stuff up. It's been well known for a long time. Election interference. We don't have any civics, regardless of people finding subjects on civics being taught in limited schools around the country, very limited. Those civics aren't even accurate. You can't have subjects and savages narrated in any real civics, because to do so you'd have to tell the truth, and the government can't tell the constitutional truth of that. How many of you, by show of hands, were taught the Canadian Constitution in school? You were not. You were not taught really any history besides Champagne, Cabot, and very limited knowledge on how Canada came to be. In fact, you're taught nothing of your Constitution. You're not taught anything about being a subject or a defined savage. Again, I didn't create these terms. I didn't create the Constitution. I never got educated in it either in school, and I went through all the way up to a degree. Never once did I ever learn anything about civics in Canada. And when I say that, real civics, and I think writing a book, the first ever book on Canada and civics, I'll say, what are civics in Canada? Subject and savages. And I'm going to do that book. I think that would be a book that should go out there. If anyone wants to know, I posted on my timeline all about the National Institute of Scholars, American Scholars, and civics. They teach the idea of real civics. Canada will never teach you civics. They can't. What are you going to say? Hello, subjects and savages. Understand that you do this, this, this. That's your civics. Not good. But I gotta go. That's my message today on foreign interference. It begins right in your academic institutions here in Canada. Clearly, beyond any reasonable doubt, your government creates the interference. The red carpet's out. We have more foreign students than any other nation in the world, and taxpayers subsidize that. Sorry people don't know this. It gets harder and harder to send Canadians to academic institutions because the cost of living is too high. It's getting harder and harder for the subjects and the savages. That's the truth. That's my video. Gotta go. Gotta get to work. Bye now.